Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and it is Junk Journal Friday, which means while this is running as a premiere at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, we are in the chat room just chatting away about whatever's in the video or anything else that anybody wants to chat about. Give you an opportunity to ask me questions in real time. And so if you've been to my channel before, thanks for stopping back in. If you're new to my channel, I hope you'll take a minute to click the like and subscribe button and the notification bell, because in a couple of weeks we're going to be doing some giveaways for my 500 subscriber giveaway, and I don't want you to miss out. So make sure you click the notification bell. As I said, it's Junk Journal Friday. We're working on our bead journal, and I have my prototype here, which is mine. Remember, I'm making 3 identical journals to bring the 3 of us friends together, Anais and Greg. And so before we get into the journal elements, because today is mostly about fabric, I want to show you what I decided to do on the cover. I have taken a manila envelope and I cut it in half. Now, I could have just folded this and been okay, except I was about an inch too narrow to accommodate the widest page in the journal. So that wasn't going to work. So, and by the time I had fluffy edges and everything, we were going to be out of luck. So I took another envelope and I cut it a 2-inch binding strip in the center for a spine. And that's going to give me room for the journal itself, and everything will be covered, the seams and everything will be covered when I put on the gold lame chair fabric. So this is going to be the cover. And on the inside of the back cover, I have 3 of these bags. They are from Stampin'Up. I showed you these a few weeks ago. And I wanted to leave them gusseted, just more for texture than anything. And I'm going to put those on the inside back page of, inside back cover of the journal. So we have those going on. And then, as I said, today was mostly about fabric. So I've been working on fabric pieces. We had done... And my pages are getting all out of sorts here, but that's okay. We can push them back later. I've added 3 fabric flips to each journal. I had 3 different patterns of fabric, and I think all of mine are in here. So I've got this fabric flip, and underneath it says, "You are positively the greatest." And the reason I picked this one for me is because I got a little ink boo-boo there, but I'm okay with that. And then we use fabric from these quilt squares, or these pattern sheets that I got at the Rusty Moon Quilt Shop. And what I decided to do, you'll see in a minute, I decided to incorporate an entire panel in each journal. Then we'll come to that one in just a second. Okay, so every journal is going to have this pocket in it with the pull tag. My sister-in-law, I should have one down in the mailbox today that will let me fill in this other tag. And then we have this tag from the paint chip. And I think I'm still in frame. I'll try to glance up once in a while and make sure. So there's one of those in every journal. Then I made 3 of these ruffles. Now there are actually 6 because I have longer ones and I've cut them down. So I have 2 of each of these pattern in the journal. So there's the B one there. And the way I decided to do this was this ruffle went here because we flip over to this one, there's the matching fabric in the fabric flip, and underneath it says, "You are a real blessing to everyone around you." And these came from stamp sets from Stampin' Up. And I will link those stamp sets down below if they are still available. So let's go back to our yellow and our page ruffle. And then this one, I'm going to try something cool, either on this one or on this one. I will let you know next Friday how that turns out. Here's the other fabric flip. It says "Be Happy," and that's on the green, which means if we flip over to the green, there's the matching ruffle. I've also taken a black button and glued it to the page ruffle, and I've added one of these bling strips that are from Floral Garden at Dollar Tree. So I've added that. Now let's go back to our green again. Our flip, and we've got our music page. Still playing with these, and like I said, this one or the brown one are going to get And then here's where I put in one of those panels. And each one is different on the center signature. And then we did this one a couple of weeks ago with the belly band and the pull tab. And then some florals. Then here's that other tab. And I'm going to show you something about this tab here in just a minute. And I think I moved my glue. But we have those. Now this is a little sticky on the back, so I'm going to dust this with my baby powder when I'm all done and keep it from sticking. And then there's the other fabric flip. And then on the blue, I came in with the gingham trim from Stampin' Up! And I run it through the punched holes on the page edge. And I think there's going to be a bow or a bee on here. I haven't decided yet. And then here's another page edging. And that's opposite of where, actually it wasn't. What did I do with that one? Oh, because where that one was at was on the blue, but I wanted to put the page edge. So I went to the next one. And then I have these smaller floral shaped buttons, and I put a Stampin' Up! Pearl in the center. And let me grab my, well actually, yeah, let me grab my glue really fast. Okay. I think I took my brush out and washed it. So I don't have my brush that I would normally use. So let's use this one. I use this Ultimate Crafter's Pick glue. This stuff will stick just about anything. It's quick drying. It dries clear. And I keep some in a jar so I can dip in with a brush. And I can put it on the back of my button and it will hold this button in place. Probably as good, if not better, than fabric tack. And it's really good glue. I can brush this, and I'm going to show you in a minute how I brush it on the fabric. So there's that one. And then I'm going to have 3 other strips to incorporate into my journal. Plus, we're going to be coming back and we have these pieces to incorporate, and we'll find places for those next week. Remember these that we made on the magazine Card Ideas book, so we're going to be incorporating those. But I wanted to show you what I did with these fabric flips, or with the edge clusters. These are great to make if you have a sewing machine, but what if you don't have a sewing machine? I took mine and I laid it on the ironing board, and I just folded and pressed my ripples in, and then I turned it over, and I ran a piece of tear and tape down the back. Now that doesn't hold this in place completely, but it keeps your ripples in place till you can come back with your craft glue or your fabric tack, something that's going to adhere fabric really well and fast. And I just dipped this into my glue, and I came up underneath, pulled that loop back, and pressed it just like that. And when I press down and pull the brush out, it spreads the glue for me. Just that easy. Of course, if you don't have essential trimmers, it's much easier. And mine are getting increasingly worse. I'm going to be looking into holistic remedies for that. I've seen how bad Donna's are, and I really don't want to get to that point if I can help it. So, that's how quickly, excuse me, we put together that fabric ribbon without a sewing machine. Now, you can go back through and stitch this. I don't recommend it if you've got the glue and the tear and tape on there. You can also come back and add a fine-edged ribbon down through the center, again with your glue, and add a little something extra. In fact, let's do that since we have glue here. Let's do that to this one, which means we want to come down just through the center we want to come down just through the center of this. So I'm going to paint this up the edge. I've got a hair on there, or an extra strand or something. It's driving me crazy. But we're going to just paint this down the center. Just like this. Now while this is uploading this morning, I'm going to go ahead and finish putting these elements together that I've been working on. I've also been watching the videos for the Card Makers Symposium with Stamping with Love. Okay, now I'm going to turn this way. And then I'm going to run that right down through the center, as best as I can get center. My father-in-law always told me I could never find center, and he's right. Now any glue that come out is going to dry clear, not a problem. And I can clip that off, just like that. And then I will go back and I will add that to a page edge. I got involved with the craft symposium yesterday, the card making symposium yesterday, so I did not get this done yesterday, which means I'm having to make this short this morning so I can get it uploaded. But I do want to show you one more quick thing. We're going to come back in here to my journal, and I keep looking. I need something that's got some weight to it, so it's probably one of those would be cool. I have this black rickrack that I just absolutely love, but it's a pretty heavy weight, so it needs to go on something that's going to handle the weight. So I was kind of looking for something else, but it looks like, ooh, see, that's an awfully long strip to run that though. I think this one may get another, that really looks cool on there though, doesn't it? Really looks cool on there. We may come back to that one. Here's another one that I could run ribbon through. I could run ribbon through this one. And I have other ribbons. Maybe if I could find a narrow gold. I think the honeybee is too wide to run through here. But that would be a possibility. Rickrack on the music paper. Tell you what. Let's let you give me a heads up. Okay? This will be my call to action for the day. Do we want to use the rickrack on where was I? Do we want to run the rickrack on the ledger paper? I really like that against the green. Or on the lined music sheet, or on, I would put this on the alternate one. Let's see, there it is. Or on the music sheet. So, ledger, lined, or full music sheet. Where should I put the black rickrack? And I will let you leave that in the comment section for me below. And if you're in the chat room, please come back and leave it in the comment section, because leaving comments really does help my channel. And so we'll see if we can't make that come up to par. How's that? Okay, I'm going to take about 5 more minutes here, and I think I'll still be able to upload this. It'll be push and shove, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, now this one I've already glued, so I'm going to go ahead and snip it in half. And I'm not really in half because I want to get it next to one of those folds, just like that. So I have those to place in here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go. I liked this, but not with this, so I'm going to flip this over. Well, maybe. Let's flip this over this way. Okay, and let's put too close to that one. Let's do that one. Now I've got the sticky back here, so I'm going to pull the tape edge off. But then I am going to come back through with my craft glue. Because remember, this wasn't necessarily made to hold to the page, it was made to hold the rickrack together. So I'm going to come back through and I'm going to paint this craft glue on the back of here. Just like that. Now, these beads are kind of going in different directions, so let's stick him right there. Okay, now we have 3 more of these to figure out really quick. We've got one here, which means I probably shouldn't have put one there, but I know why I did. Let's come back to this green one this way, and let's put him here to coordinate with that. So let's do that. But let's put him here, I think. Because see, then he peeks. So let's put him on the back over here. Now you do have to make sure that you have that tape burnished really good onto the back of your fabric before you try tearing your paper off. Or your glue is going to come off too, just so you know. The studio is coming along. I have my ladder shelves painted, 2 coats of black paint, and they are in place. Pay attention, some of these have direction. You want to make sure if your bees are going a specific direction to keep them going in the specific direction. Okay, there's that one. So we probably want to flip this one this way. We did that. I want to put a page edge really that goes towards the farthest out if I can. So let's put this one over here. And even if we do put rickrack on there, it'll help balance it, I think. I love this craft glue, probably more so than fabric tack. It is some of my favorite. I know that's probably out of frame, but I had to turn it to where I could see it. Okay, I like this on that yellow, so let's flip this over. And let's put him up here. Actually, let's put him, nope, let's go ahead and put this yellow one on this brown. Let's do that. And then we'll do a quick flip through of where we're at so far with this. And let's see, let's go there. Okay, now let's go back to that yellow. And while it's on the inside, I'm okay with that. Let's put him in here. No, we got that one there. Let's flip him and put him here. And we will have all of our page ruffles in place. And see, I'm sitting here and trying to pull that, and it's not wanting to pull. Have to make sure it's burnished down before you do anything. Okay, I'm going to turn this to where the ruffles are going the right direction on me, that I can paint down. I have a gnat keeping me company in here this morning. I'm glad I shut Tabby out, or she'd be up here in the middle of this trying to catch the gnat. She is doing very well, by the way. Never know there was anything wrong with her. That gnat lands again. He is mine. Okay, now this is another one again. Make sure your bees are going the right direction. I want to make sure I've got that on here just right. Okay. So this week was all about fabric and ribbon. Next week, we're going to hopefully talk about Nouveau Crackle Mousse. I'm going to try mixing some of this on a palette with the Bumblebee Re-Inker and using it through a Ciao Bella stencil, hive stencil that I have. And that's why I'm thinking about putting it on either this page or on the brown paper. but I'm going to run a test on it first and we'll see what happens. So let's do a quick flip through. So far we have fabric flip, you are positively the greatest. We've added a fabric ruffle. This one we had already done with our fabric pocket. Another ruffle. Another ruffle. Pull this down just a little bit. Then we have another fabric flip. Be Happy. The Be Happy stamp is from the magazine, the Card Makers magazine stamp set. We have another ruffle here with a little bit of ribbon added to it. I'll need to remember that before I add anything else. Then we've added a center to the signature from the fabric panels. Then we've added another fabric ruffle. A fabric ruffle with a button. Another flip. You are a real blessing to everyone around you. The ribbon trim through the hole punch paper. And that paper was already hole punched, but you could always use a 1/4 inch hole punch and do that and make one. Then we have another fabric ruffle with a flower button and pearl. And our last fabric ruffle. Okay, now remember, I need your help in the comment section below. The black rickrack is going to go on. The ledger paper, the unlined music paper, or the regular music paper. You leave me a comment down below and I will show you next week what we came up with. In the meantime, thanks for joining me in the studio today. I am probably off all next week except for maybe Friday, mostly because I'm trying really, really hard to finish getting the studio put together, and I really need the week. Bob will come home on Wednesday, so I'll be back here for Junk Journal Friday, next Friday, but other than that, I'm off all next week because one of the things I've come up with is going to require an entire reswap of one particular area. So it's going to be a chore, but I'm looking forward to it, and I think it will work out for me better in the long run. So in the meantime, remember, like, share, subscribe, and create creative blessings.